Hi, this is Steve, Dichroic Glassman. Well, last night I was talking about my Genesis glass system, and here's that panel that I told people I would show the next day, cleaned and black. The solder lines are black, very finite, very crisp. No huge globs in my soldering intersections. It almost looks like lead came. I've been accused by a lot of people of my solder was too perfect, that it was as though I extruded it out of some sort of an applicator. Well, it's not the case. Sounds cool, sounds exciting. If I've been accused of that, how cool is that? Oh well. How many people would take a chance on a 33-inch by 28.5-inch window leaning it up against this car chassis right now being built here in this barn? I've got a lot of confidence in my windows, and that's really all this system is. You know, it's a vision of confidence in myself and my own abilities and mechanical aptitudes. I think a lot of people are looking for rocket science behind my plan because I've sort of stuck my foot out in my mouth out there, or sort of started something up. This is what that panel looks like. And I finished this in less than 24 hours. I know that a lot of people in life have stayed awake. Many doctors have to stay awake shifts that are over 24 hours. And I know a lot of us have experienced life where we were awake for 20, 30 hours, especially to help other people and in all life's adversities. So, in making that comparison that I finished this window in less than 24 hours, totally, from start to finish, a lot of people couldn't comprehend that, but yet they could comprehend those other potentiality aspects and things. So all I'm saying is I found out a system. The way I view glass, the way I approach it, cut it, address it, gives me an aptitude and an ability to where I'm confident in what I believe. And that's really all this Genesis system really boils down to. It's not rocket science. It's an application of what I believe. I've never had a lesson. I'm nearly 100% colorblind, and I can't draw, but I can draft. And this is called abstract. It's a bunch of geometry with my visual imagination, my creative aspects coming full bloom, coming into view. And abstracts don't have to make sense. So I don't have a dragonfly drafting system to approach this thing on flipping, inverting, reversing drawings. What I do is live. I have a way of practical technology applications that make sense. Again, I've never had a lesson. I saw a guy, my whole premise, my whole beginning, my whole inspiration came from walking into some little art co-op, saw a guy cutting some glass, he had some clocks on the wall. I made the association. I saw him cut 4, 5, 6 pieces of glass, and he foiled up 1 or 2, and he soldered 1 or 2, and that was it. That was all I needed to see. In fact, I never even got to talk to the guy. I just looked over the shoulder, and I think he had a brochure with a picture of his clock on it. It blew me away. I didn't realize it was that simple. I never saw how to flux. I never saw how to hold the iron. I didn't know the temperature, didn't know about a rheostat. But I went home, and my roommate at that time had stained glass tools. So I went home and made a window within the first 3 days because I figured out a system. Same way if a guy brings home a guitar to your kid or otherwise, and you figure out a way that makes sense. That's all I'm doing, is I figured out a way that makes sense, and I'm getting the results that I want. I'm not telling anybody their system is right or wrong. If you feel confident in your abilities and you're getting what you want, then how dare me tell you? How dare me? Where would I be coming from if I told you you're doing it wrong? I'm not here boasting anybody or pridefully making any stand and telling anybody that they're less than. As a matter of fact, I want to commend you if you're even doing stained glass, because it's an art form that's suffering right now. I'm in touch with some owners of the big distributors. I know Leslie from D&L Glass. I've known Leslie for 22 years. She knows my son and otherwise in Colorado, D&L Glass. An incredible distributor, one of the best in the nation. They're all good. If they're in business, they're good. That's the way I see it. They're obviously doing something right if they're still here. And she tells me that stained glass is suffering because the hot glass is taking over. But I believe I have a system that will help resurrect the stained glass industry in what seems to be a frustrating industry based on some concepts that keep getting perpetrated and by more teachers just basically teaching some frustrating techniques. Now, I said I wouldn't blast anybody, but as you read the Yahoo News post and such for groups, some of these people are pretty frustrated. Well, I can't imagine what it's like to use foil shears because I've never used them, and I've made over 1,000 windows this big. So, don't know what to say to those people other than, would you be interested in seeing another facet to the stone? That's all. I don't want to change anything. I'm not here to compete with anybody. I want to work with a cooperative mind. I'm looking for business partners, potential of linking up with people that have marketing ideas. Who knows? I don't know. But I got this window done in less than 24 hours. So let's come back to reality here. For my reality, that's great. I can go on with the next window. I'm literally can kick out a window like this once every 2 days. It's not realistic to do this window in 24 hours and say, gee, I can make 7 of them a week. That's not realistic. Even if you have to break it down to 6.5, 7 hours a day at 3 days, I'm still happy that I got this window done, even if it took me 3 days to do that same less than 24 hours. You see what I'm saying? So, no, I didn't do this window start to finish in one solid 24-hour incremental day. I did it in 2.5 days. Working 7 hours one day, started one night for 6 hours. So that's the way I did it. I don't want to make this a torture situation. If anything, my system is so easygoing and makes sense practicality that it allows you to achieve great things in a very short amount of time. I'm nearly 100% colorblind, by the way. I'm 87%, which has been measured. There's tests that you can measure the degree of color blindness. I don't boast having the best designs. I don't boast making the best color choices. But I have a mechanical aptitude that no matter what glass you set in front of me, I'm going to do a really good job mechanically. If I was to boast anything, it would be my mechanical aptitude and the techniques, my soldering, my foiling, and my techniques. But I'm not here to compete with anybody design-wise. I see people that are incredibly gifted on Yahoo News groups. I look at their photo albums and go, wow, what they see is incredible, and they're drawing their own patterns up. I couldn't draw a duck on a pond and make it look realistic, but I can show you how you can take that and put it into a structured, templated system that will blow you away, because I can draw that outline up in 10 minutes. With no software, live, with templates. I have a whole template system. It's part of my Genesis system. The drawing aspect, yeah, it's part of my Genesis system. It's live. It's applicable in many other industries besides stained glass, by the way. You could paint signs with my system. You could use it in crafts. You could use it at your church bazaar for your car wash. Yeah. It's not just adaptable to stained glass. That's just one of the ways I use it is in my stained glass. But the Genesis system, my drafting system on how I approach design, is applicable in many industries besides just stained glass. So anyway, I hope you're getting a further insight into the Genesis system. I'll do a couple more. The video's winding down up to 10 minutes, so I got to close this off. Thank you so much for watching my video. Love to hear back from other people, and I would love to see your glass. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.